We must remember to put on the full armor of God, especially because there has been heightened level of spiritual activity. So you can't fight spirit with flesh. You have to fight spirit with spirit. And God has given us the tools to be able to combat those things. In Ephesians 6:11 through 18, it talks about putting on the full armor of God so that we may be able to stand against the wiles of the enemy, against his schemes, against his strategies. He's constantly strategizing against us. There's never a time when he's not strategizing. We a lot of times let down our guards. We get comfortable and we forget to use the tools. We have to use the tools that God has given us. So first, God has told us to use the helmet of salvation. The helmet of salvation is our guard against the attacks in our minds. That is the greatest attack. The greatest warfare is to our mind. The mind is the battleground, and the Bible also says it is with the mind that we serve the Lord. So that's why that is the greatest attack. Our minds is also connected to our soul. So whatever affects our mind affects our soul. So we have to have that foundation of salvation in order to guard ourselves against the attacks to our minds. Then we have to have the shield of faith. Our faith is our defense against fear. The shield of faith is also our defense against those imaginations and thoughts that exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ. So we have to cast it down by faith. Then you have to have the belt of truth. The belt of truth is our defense against the deception and lies that the enemy uses. That is one of the greatest weapons that the enemy uses against us, is deception. That's how he's able to get people to not believe, to get people to come into agreement with anything that is anti-God. He stands before God accusing us because he is the accuser. And once we come into agreement with his lies, then that is how he's able to get us off our post. You have to have the breastplate of righteousness, because if we're not walking in righteousness, that gives the enemy legal access, legal grounds to be able to attack us if there's darkness within us. You have to have the sword of the Spirit. It's not by power nor by might, but by his Spirit, says the Lord. David was able to defeat Goliath by the Spirit of God. You have to have the feet of peace. That is the foundation in which you stand on. If you don't have peace, you're not able to use your armor. It's the peace that surpasses all understanding. When you have peace, you have everything you need. So we must put on all of these things. That is the full armor of God. And that is what's going to protect us. That is our safety mechanism against all of these things that's happening, against the spiritual warfare.